Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Protect.
Yo, peace.
Protect your
Alright, welcome back for another ZTT, Zen Trap Travels. I'm one of your two hosts, Zen P.
Yogi LG.
As you can see, we are at a different location, but we are still getting it done. Yogi LG, why don't you tell them what we're reviewing today?
Alright, today we are talking about Glasgow, Scotland. We went there for a weekend trip and we had a blast, to be honest. We were probably there maybe 48 hours, some of that sort. So definitely a quick in and out, but we got to see a lot of the city.
Yeah, for sure. We, like she said, 48 hours. Got there on Thursday, midday. Left on Saturday morning. But yeah, definitely feel like we got a lot done. Why don't you give them a little breakdown? So, where we came from?
Alright, so we were in Derby area outside of London. Decided to do a weekend trip to Scotland. So we hopped on a train. We took a adventure for sure. I think it was like 3 different trains to get there. We just put book bags on our back and tried to keep it light when packing. Finally got there. The train station was super close to the hotel, so we were able to just kind of walk over to the hotel and get the trip started.
Yeah, for sure. So we walked from the train station. We stayed at a Moxie's. That's a partner of Marriott or a Marriott brand hotel. It was set up like a rock and roll themed based hotel. So it had like drums in the ceiling. It had speakers for chairs and stuff.
Yeah, it was super nice. We got a like complimentary drink as soon as we got there. The room was cool. The beds was super close. They make like double rooms is like 2 twin beds, like super close to one another. So
Super small as well.
Definitely compact.
If you're on the taller side or the wider side, it's going to be tough in European places, probably just from a comfort standpoint. Stuff is a lot more small. That's the best way I can put it. So that first night, we just took a nap and woke up, and then we went out. Well, now actually, when we first got there, we went and got food.
Yep.
We went to this bar and got food. How was the food?
It wasn't that great. It was not that great.
Was not that great, just at that specific bar at least.
Yeah.
We got like chicken wings and a chicken sandwich, and it wasn't great.
They had some hot sauce that was hot though. That was surprising because a lot of stuff like I found in Europe, when they say spicy, it's not really spicy.
By Europe, you mean England?
England.
Yeah, not all of Europe.
England.
Yeah, the UK even, not all of Europe, because I'm sure some places in Europe that's got some really hot sauce. But yeah, so once we ate that food, of course, that was not a great way to start your trip when you get bad food, but walked around a little bit. They definitely, again, had great architecture in the city when we was walking around. Very, again, convenient like everywhere else in Europe to get around. So walked back to the hotel. I went and got a bottle so we could pregame. Lindsay had asked the waitress what was a place that we could go just for the night for a good bar, and she recommended a place called Nice and Sleazy.
That's my kind of joint, you know what I'm saying?
So like I said, we went back and pre-gamed, went out, we went to walk to the spot Nice and Sleazy again. It was probably a little over half a mile to get there walking maybe, but again, easy walk there. It was cool. It was pretty empty at first, so it was another one of those places where it's like semi like a little restaurant bar upstairs. Then you go downstairs, it's like almost a club, but really just a dance floor and another bar down there.
But the DJs was jumping.
DJs was doing real good, even for it to be like, I don't know, it's probably maybe 10 people down there right then. They was playing really good like house music with different mixes on it and stuff. It was really good. We asked the bartender like, I felt like it was only dudes in there, so I was like, is this a K club? And she was like, no. And then I was like, what time do the girls come? I'm like, what time does it get a little more crowded? She was like, really? It doesn't get like crowded until like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, golly, we out at, it's like 11 right then, 10:30. So I told Lindsay I saw another thing online when I like to look up hip hop bars when I'm in a city just to see what comes up. So I saw this thing called Buff Club. So we walked over to Buff Club. That was a short walk away, maybe like 3 blocks or something. Buff Club just so happened to actually be having a hip hop night on Thursday. So that's what I saw online too. So we get there.
Get in it, like we're walking up the steps and it's like pictures of like black artists. It's like Biggie on the wall. I think it was like Prince and someone else on the wall. So it was pretty cool. Like walking in, you kind of already felt like welcome, kind of.
Yeah. And then again, it's a little tough to find places to play like rap music. So they was playing really good music. We went and got drinks in there and chilled for like 45 minutes, an hour, just to give Nice and Sleazy some time to warm up. But it was a nice crowd in there for the time and stuff, because I'm sure that probably got packed out a little later. But the environment was nice. They had like posters on the wall, like she said. It was kind of blacked out in there too. They had like little lights going. But again, best part for me is just like good music, good drinks. I'm good to go.
I was playing some old Kanye. I was down. I was rapping.
Hey, promiscuous girl. Hey, okay, Abdul, let her know Abdul. Hey, come on, Abdul. Beth, let him know he can't get this. Abdul, what you gonna do? Yeah, but Johnny don't play that.
For sure.
So we left there, went back to Nice and Sleazy just because we didn't really know any other bars, and it was like midnight at that point. So about midnight, 12:30, got back to Nice and Sleazy. It was a lot more people there, as she mentioned. We got in there and then it was almost like a little line outside. So we stayed in there, listened to music for a little bit, but
danced a little bit.
Yeah. You danced a little bit. After, it got to be about a little after 1:30 or something, we was like, all right, that's cool. We've been traveling all day. We only had a nap. We're staying in the hotel. We called it. So walked back, went to sleep that night, woke up, slept in just because we usually was getting up early to work out and stuff at like 6. So decided to sleep in, and then I just randomly Googled some stuff that we could do for the day. So we hopped out real quick, and we started off the day with the Glasgow Science Center.
And that was a blast from the start. So when we walk up to the Science Center, first we see some kind of like black history facts about like a black cyclist in Glasgow. That was super cool. Then we walk up and they're like big, large bubbles. They're making bubbles outside the museum. Yep. Walk in, get tickets, go to the first floor. And you could tell already this is about to be a nice experience. So the Science Museum was super interactive. Kids and adults, everybody's trying everything because it's just super fun. Pretty much every experiment or task you could think of, every science-based thing is kind of in there. Whether it's mirrors to making bubbles to how fast you can run, how high you can jump. I extracted strawberry DNA. They had a little setup from the Cancer Research Center. Had like a little setup there. It was like just super dope and super interactive.
It was like 3 or 4 levels, so they broke it down by the different types of science and stuff. So yeah, highly recommend it if you're visiting. If you have kids, not kids, it's a great place.
That was a highlight for me.
I would definitely say if it's still like COVID times or flu season or something, maybe don't go or wear your mask and stuff, because like she said, it's super hands-on and interactive, and then there's kids in there too, so it's just a nice little concoction to get sick.
For sure.
After that, we walked to the bus stop, took the bus to the city center. I think we were hungry at that point, so we went and got pizza. Pizza place. No, we didn't get pizza.
We went to the Cathedral.
Glasgow Cathedral first. Yeah. That was just in the area. So saw that was free. Walked up. Cathedral was amazing. Super big cathedral, but to me it looks like a castle. So it's just like a big castle church. I think you only had to pay if you needed like to do the audio tour. So of course we didn't do the audio tour. We just walked in and just walked around, took some pictures real quick. We probably in there literally like 12 minutes.
For real.
And it's big too. So
I mean, you get to walk around. They kind of got downstairs sections. They got history. There's some tombs in there.
Yeah.
Talking about people from the past. So it was like real quiet, and you really just trying to. You go just to see the architecture and the beauty of it.
Yeah, the aesthetic, the big glass windows and stuff. So again, recommend that too, because just when you're walking around there, it's like a castle street as well. So you just start seeing random castles off in the distance and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, super nice.
Then, of course, when we got out from there, we was hungry, and I found a pizza place. So I was like, okay, bet, it's walking distance. So again, walking some more. So we walk probably a little over half a mile again to get to Merchant City or George Square. That area was super dope as well. They had, again, it's almost like the city center, had nice buildings and random statues and stuff everywhere.
Yeah, and it's just like it's a lot of people walking around. So that's really always cool to just see kind of like a city center congested area, just to see different types of people and where they going and what they up to. Right.
So I looked up just top rated restaurants. Really wanted some pizza. Got lucky, found some highly rated pizza place in the city center called Pisano's Pizza.
Oh my gosh.
Pizza was smacking. Apparently,
smacking.
It was Neapolitan pizza. So it's not a chain, but they brought it. It's just authentic Neapolitan pizza that they brought to Glasgow. They got 2 locations in Glasgow.
When I tell you, they use 00 flour for the dough.
Whatever that means.
Specific olive oil, mozzarella is like fresh. It was top-notch pizza. It's probably the best pizza I've had in a very long time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's super healthy pizza. Just FYI, it ain't. I mean, if you like the greasy, it ain't for you. I'm just letting you know.
It ain't deep dish. It ain't you ain't getting no super thick crust. It's like classic Italian style pizza.
So finished up the pizza spot, walked out from there, and we literally saw a gallery of modern art. As soon as we kind of walked out, headed to the next spot. So we was like, we might as well pop in there. Happened to be free again, or taking donations. We walked in there. They was actually doing another thing for black artists. They were revisiting black artists that may have gotten overlooked or forgotten throughout history or something like that. So it was dope to just do a quick walk through there and see.
It was like chains wrapped around the chairs. That was kind of weird to see.
A little weird, but I get it. I get the point they was making about people.
Right.
So they were showing a video of someplace, I think in Africa or something. So it was just weird to see like white people sitting in like white chairs with chains all around them, and I guess
watching these black people dance or something.
Yeah, and it was. Well, the chains were around like the bottom of the chairs, and I guess it was symbolizing like slaves being chained together or something. Just a little strange.
Yeah.
But the black art was dope. It was a small gallery, so it was a quick walk through there.
Absolutely.
Dipped out there. We walked again, or did we take a bus?
We walked.
So we walked from there to the Kelvin Grove Art Museum.
Yes.
And this was another free one, but except this one was huge.
This is probably like one of the biggest art museums in the city, like for sure.
It's definitely the biggest art museum I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, it was probably at least 2 different sides, 2 floors on each side, and it was massive. You had different.
I would
rooms.
even say it's like 3 different sides, because it's like a left, right, and middle on both floors. Like, because all those rooms we went into, it's like you turn around. Matter of fact, I don't know, because when she says 2 different sides, I just want to make sure it's like you come in one spot, it's a middle, and then it's 2 different sides with top and bottom floors, and each have different rooms inside of those different sides.
It was massive. Like, we were walking quickly through there, and it still took us at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, because it had to only take an hour, because we got there I think at 4 and it closed at 5, and we were just like speed walking through everything, and still
we were like the last little section. We were just like we had to just.
Yeah, we left when they were literally saying, "Hey, museum's closing," so we left with everybody else. But again,
Super good museum, though.
Super good museum.
A lot of history, whether it was the Glasgow boys and like some artists that influenced the whole culture in Glasgow. So I saw different stuff about like Japan gifting Glasgow certain items in exchange for showing them how to build ships and stuff. Like super
animals in there,
yeah, super
Egypt
good
section,
history.
black section.
It was good. It was
Big.
good. Yeah,
Definitely
really
add that to your list too. After we did that, of course, we was tired, walked back to the hotel, so it was just a long day of walking.
Yeah, for sure.
Went to sleep, really. Did we do dinner?
Where did we do dinner at? Oh yeah, we went to the Indian place.
Went to an Indian place, yeah.
Indian
Last minute.
food was good, for sure.
Indian food is definitely top notch in the UK. Went to get some Indian food, went back to the room and just crashed.
I do need to say this about this Indian food. It was the biggest naan I've ever seen. They brought a naan to the table that was, hanging on a rack, and it was just
more like an elephant ear.
Yeah, it was massive. So, but the Indian food was really good. They had a really good cider there. Went back to the room.
Crash. Just was tired.
Yeah.
Got up. We had, I think our train was supposed to be at like 11.
Yeah.
So we left the room at like 10 because the train station was really close. Luckily, we left early because when we got there, we see like this little long line just for the terminal that we got to get on the train at. And it's confusing at first because it's like, why is there a line there? And then we go and ask the police officer, like, what's this line for? And it was like, that's the line to get on the train.
Anything going south to London.
When I say this line went out the door of the train station and then some more.
Around the corner.
So luckily, like I said, we asked, so we got in line and we got to a spot that's like almost at the edge of the building. And then literally after about 5-10 minutes and people start realizing it, more people. So the line literally went around the building, like down the block and around the building.
People was just standing in the rain.
So I still am not 1,000% sure why that is, but I know like trains have been getting canceled all morning. 2 trains that got canceled before that.
Right.
I don't know the reasoning behind it, but the people in line were saying this has been happening a lot more often. Could be some train strike or something that was happening, or could just be, I don't know, logistics or something that's happening. But either way, the people outside was fed up. A lot of people was leaving and renting cars. I couldn't imagine somebody that's like trying to get to the airport and they just
I got a flight in London. You're leaving, 5 hours, but I can't get on the train.
And then they're talking about like, if you don't make it on this train, you got to wait for the next one, which is like another hour and a half wait. And it was people in line in front of us that had been waiting since like 8:30
in the morning.
And they've been holding a spot in line because if you go sit down, you just kind of like lose your spot. Lindsay was already contemplating like, let's just bum rush the front. Like what? Like that's
not bum rush, but
that is bum rushing.
It's not bum rushing. Eventually, when the line start moving, you just walk your way in the line. Like you don't got to bum rush nobody. But,
what you call it?
Cut in line.
I think you said you wanted to cut because you felt like everybody else was going to bum rush the front.
Okay. That might be a possibility. Probably did happen. We didn't see it. We was in the back.
Okay. I doubt it happened because I don't think nobody waiting in line since 8:30 would have let somebody just casually walk in front of them.
Depending on how many people walking up. But either way, we made it on the train, so that was really good. That was a positive. Got on the train. Of course, it was packed, but I think we had reserved seats, but we didn't get our reserved seats. We just sat where we could. And then, like, the next couple stops was crazy because it was, like, other trains getting canceled and people were trying to get on this train. And what do you call the people who run the train? Conductor would come on and be like, hey, if you just got on a train from this platform, we will not move until you get off. You cannot get on this train. It has nothing to do with us. That other line canceled their train. They shouldn't have done that. That was wrong, but that has nothing to do with us. And so everybody was like, dang, this is getting intense. We met some really cool people on the train. Actually, this couple from Boston, they had been in Glasgow for like 3 weeks hiking. They had a baby that was really like 5 months or something. So we talked to them for a while.
I didn't.
Yeah, parents didn't engage, but I engaged and talked to them for a while and just talked to them about their experience. It was her husband's first time traveling outside the country. country, so he was super excited. So it was really cool. It was a good experience taking a train. If you want to, you can meet a lot of people, if you know, or not. You could just chill and do your own thing. So I think I recommend, if you're somewhere, you know, in the UK or even in Europe, anywhere, taking a train is an experience. You get to see the countryside. We passed a lot of pastures with sheep and goats and cows and horses, so you get to see all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, all of that is really nice. But again, that ride back was just extra long because of the different little hiccups with the trains and stuff. So left really early when we get back to Derby until like 7:30 at night. So just crashed that night, but that was our pretty much short, quick Glasgow experience.
It was super good. Like, would you go back to Glasgow?
No.
All right. What's
I mean, if I did go, it'd be for somebody else, not for me. I think if I went back, I could go to Edinburgh. But Glasgow, I don't have to go back. Would you?
I'm kind of like you. If I go back, it'll be for somebody else. Like, oh, somebody want to go to Scotland, I'll go with you. Again, we didn't go do a bunch of nature stuff, which Glasgow is known for. Scotland's known for a lot of hiking and all that kind of stuff. We didn't really get out there just because we didn't have a whole lot of time.
And it clearly looks like a very heavy music area, so I'm sure they do festivals and all of that type of stuff. So if it's a nice festival or some crazy music type stuff, I'm sure that would be an amazing reason to go to. But yeah, not.
All right, what was the highlight for you? Highlight of the trip?
Highlight of the trip was just definitely the day where we toured around different stuff and got to see so much in a short stint. So if I had to say the highlight, I'm going to say the art museum, the Kelvin Grove Art Museum, just because, again, something I've never seen before. I've seen like cathedrals and stuff before. I've seen a science center before, maybe not as interactive, but I ain't never seen no art museum that big. What about you?
I would probably say this Glasgow Science Center, just because it was so good to me. I haven't been to one that interactive and that good, that well put together, where stuff ain't broke. Like, pretty much everything works. They had people like manning the floors and helping you out. You could ask questions. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Most interesting thing you saw or person you met?
Probably the most interesting thing I saw was at the Science Center. We saw, like, what's it, sheep lungs?
Yeah, sheep lungs that they use to...
Sheep lungs to show the difference in, like, smoking and non-smoking. And they had, like, you could, like, inflate the lungs and see how they function. They change them out every few days or something. So it's, like, real, like, that joint was pretty cool. So that was impressive.
For me, I think it was seeing the different black pieces that they have throughout the city. Like, I think that was very progressive, and I think I'm seeing a lot more progressive type stuff in the UK in general, where it'd be like random points to point out black people in history, or revisiting like black art and stuff. So that's been really interesting to see in the UK, because I know for me, going around in 2015, even that recently, which is, I guess, not that recent anymore, to me it wasn't like that. You definitely wouldn't see much stuff like that, but now you're starting to see more like gay pride stuff, black or other diversity type images, and shout outs in history and stuff. So like, that's been great to see to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's awesome for sure. Anything else you could highlight from Glasgow?
No, not really. Just not because Glasgow isn't something to highlight per se. It's just we were there, so very quick turnaround time. From there, like I said, we went back to Derby. We only had like a couple days left in Derby, and then next up is what we're going to review next, which is
Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin. I think it would have been probably a little disrespectful to do them in the same video, so we're going to break them up. Any last words for the people?
Nah, just remember, if you can't do nothing else, protect your peace.
Protect your energy.
It's the Zen Trap.
We out.
We out.